Hola, how are you today? It's me, Maris, and I'm here in my sacred space in Anadarko, and we're doing a Wednesday wisdom reading. Lighting this cedar smudge bundle. See, I don't have the matches here. I have the matches in the city. So taking just a moment to enjoy that smudge. It's got a little bit of a going here. And we're doing the Medicine Woman deck, and I'm going to do a pick a pile. I kind of like those. I think they're neat. I think they're a little bit more fun. There we go. And give us a little bit more. Let's see. Insight. Same perspective, just 3 different paths. So let's bless our cards here. And I think all of my... And I'm just going to kind of shuffle them up a little bit. And then I'm going to divide them into 3 decks. Or 3 piles. Not 3 decks, 3 piles. And then you get to choose a pile. So it's kind of like 3 little mini readings. Hey, Serena, how are you? All right. Okay. So, okay. All right, so I'm going to do pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. So let's take a look at our pile so that way you can kind of catch your vibe with it, see which one resonates with you. This is pile 1. This is pile 2. And this is pile 3. So do me a favor and let me know which pile resonated with you just by seeing them. And let's start taking a look at these here. Okay, so this is pile 1. And what Wednesday wisdom do you have for us today from pile 1? Okay, nothing came flying out. So A, B, C, D, E. Okay, I stopped at G for G. Okay. All right, let's take a look at pile number 1. Okay, so we're starting out with the Eagle Totem. And this is about you rising above and looking at things from a greater perspective. And really cool energy here. We've got the Eagle Totem starting out. And the Eagle Totem is talking about rising above, going a little bit farther than the distance. And I'm using that term, the distance, in quotation marks. Going above and beyond what you're doing right now. This is about an energy kicking you in the behind, saying it's time to go over and beyond what you are normally doing. Pat, and this is in that from that pile number 1. Now, the circle of life is about a blessing in this case. And I'm like, I kind of look at this because what's the first thing that I see? I see that she's very grounded and very connected to the ground, meaning connected to the earth. And then I also see this huge starburst over her heart. So this is about being in the right frame of mind, the right heart set, that emotional heart set for endeavors. And then the energy flows into authenticity, meaning it is something that is of you, a truth of you. So this is about going above and beyond and embarking in your life. Perfect timing. You're grounded. You're in the right mind frame. You're in the right heart frame. You're grounded. And authenticity, meaning a revelation of your true self. A revelation of your true self. Now, this is about some of our obstacles right here. And I laugh when I see that second one. I'm laughing with it, not at it. All right. So our lineup here is talking, and you'll notice that the first card and the third card are upside down. So that's giving a little bit of a weakening or tweak to that perspective. And then divine sensuality, not sexuality, sensuality is in the middle. So when I'm looking at these, I'm thinking that things are very, very narrowed. The potentials, the opportunities are very narrowed. So we could say that at one point you had a wide open field. You could choose anything. And this is coming to a point where it is very, very narrowed and I'm going to use the word specific in what you're doing. Very specific in what you're doing. Now, the divine sensuality is about who you are, that divine inner self, how you get your groove. And I'm not talking a sexual groove. I'm talking about that creativity flowing through you. You'll notice that there's a really big focus over here, not only in the grounding, but also, and I'm going to say with that orange through there, I'm picking up a lot of and I'm going to say if you're a female, your feminine energy comes through on that. If you're a male, that very essence of your masculinity comes through. So it's that divine sensuality that drives and will bring some motivation. Now, when I see the intuition upside down, some people might take it in a negative way, and I'm like, it's really not a negative way. It's this moment that your higher self and your conscious self and your subconscious self come together in a sense of clarity. So when you're embarking on this specific move in your life, this is this one time that I'm going to say that your higher self, your conscious self, and your subconscious self come together, and I'm going to use the word harmony or agreement. That's my little bay leaves. I like my bay leaves there. Through there. So I like that. That's some good, strong energy. And then the last row for it here, vision, spirit of air, and gratitude. And so I'm getting a good move with this. So these things that this particular specific thing that you have planned, that you have going through your head, it's a perfect time for it. It's a perfect place. It is actually going to reveal who you are body, mind, and spirit. And I'm going to say, and what you're bringing to the table. I see that with the spirit of air and gratitude. And it's something that really comes together and works very well. So that was that on the pick a pile. That was pile number 1. And it's talking about specific change, specific movement that is, you're in the right place at the right time for it. So now we have pick a pile number 2. And number 2, let's see, I'm going to kind of shuffle it around a little bit here. Tried doing like the poker shuffle, and that didn't really do too much for me. Okay, so whoops. 2, 3, 4. Okay, well, I kept doing the same card over and over and over again, so I guess it's where it needs to be. And let's start and see what pile number 2 has for us in Wednesday Wisdom. Okay. Okay, this is some strong energy here. I'm going to put you right behind him just for a second. Yeah, well, we'll hold her up with the bay leaves here. All right. So that first card that's coming in is Empowerment upside down. And then we have Path of Beauty in the middle. And then we have Embrace on the end. And then this is about being defeated, deflated, ran over by a Mack truck, just being totally, and I'm going to say almost hitting rock bottom, but it's not rock bottom. This is like that feeling that you're in the dark, you're totally lost. And what I like about this card right here, this Path of Beauty, this Path of Beauty right here is talking about that light at the end of the tunnel. The light at the end of the tunnel and walking towards that light. And I'm over here and I was like, and it's not the kind of light where we go walk towards the light, walk towards the light. It's not that. We're talking about the light at the end of the tunnel. You've been deflated, you've been defeated, you've been ran over by a Mack truck. Anything that could have happened, happened. Murphy's Law kind of day, year, month, whatever. And finally, we have right here, that Path of Beauty. We have that light at the end of the tunnel. And this light here, if you look at this card here, it says to embrace. This light at the end of the tunnel is your guide to coming back to being you. It is your guide for coming back to being you. I like that energy because we're coming from a place that maybe wasn't so great and that our energy wasn't really where we wanted it to be or doing what we wanted to do. Feeling really kind of frustrated and devastated and, like I said, defeated. And now we're going to see where this energy is leading us to, because we've got a light at the end of the tunnel, and that light is saying to embrace it. And let's see what we're going to do with that. We've got sacred ceremonies, we've got creative fire, and then we have Mother Earth over here at the end. And I'm going to say on this particular line, the big message that I'm getting here is that it is time for you to start setting up some routines in your life that express who you are, where you want to go, where you want to be, how you want to feel. This is about setting up routines. This is setting up routines. And then this right over here in creative fire has a lot to do with who you want to be, who you're focusing on being, where you're focusing your energy. And it's this moment for you to start focusing on you and what your desires are. what your goals are, where you want to be, how you want to feel, not what other people expect from you or what other people want to cause for you, or I don't want to say cause for you because it's not about blaming other people. This is more about you focusing in on who you are and where you want to go with that. So I like that energy. It's some pretty strong energy coming in on that facet. You can see my little purple tie string there. So I like this line. Now let's take a look at the very last line for this one. And let's see what we have in here. We have purification. We have healing family lines. And then we have sisterhood. So even though we're coming from a place of remorse and a place of fear, devastation, failure, etc., that we actually are going to be rising above with this. And on this healing family lines, what I'm kind of feeling in there is that people that you have perceived as cutting you off will actually start to reach out to you. And why I feel that way is I feel with that sisterhood coming back into, backing that card up there, I feel like it is something that is coming through to reunite and do some healing in some of the relationships that you have with people that you feel have cut you off. Not that you cut them off, but you feel like they cut you off. So there's some reaching out to reunite, and then begin, and I'm going to use the phrase, begin anew. To begin anew. So that's a pretty strong focus because we are coming from a place almost of what I'm feeling like despair. And we're breaking out of that mold. We're breaking out of that pattern. And we're developing patterns that are more authentic to who we are. And in this, we start to renew some of our relationships. So that was pile number 2. In our family. And I'm feeling family with that, very much so. All right, so we have done pile number 1 and pile number 2, and now we're getting ready to do pile number 3. I like pile number 3 because it's a little bit thicker, and maybe it's got a little, this is that Medicine Woman Oracle deck. I really like this deck. Sometimes she gets a little racy, though. I'm like, not that I'm a prude, but I don't always need to go down into racy world. Okay, all right, so all right, give us some wisdom. Okay, all right, so I guess I'm going to start with these, and let's just roll with it and see what it says. So this is pile number 3, and we're starting with interconnection, and I'm getting network. Who's in your network? That's funny. Coyote totem, and coyote totem usually has a lot to do with humor and joking around. And then the feminine cycle, I'm going to use you, organic bay leaves. The organic cycle is our card number 3, or I'm sorry, the organic cycle. The feminine cycle is card number 3. So when I'm looking at this is about, there's a lot of medicine talking in here, and I'm going to say what I'm picking up on this particular pile is that you've been kind of self-isolating and cutting yourself off from others. And what I pick up right over here on that interconnection card is this energy of not wanting to involve other people in maybe your struggles, whether they are health struggles, financial struggles, personal struggles, spiritual struggles, that you've been kind of self-isolating and not trying to connect in with somebody to understand some of those things going on. Here's that crazy air again. So that's that interconnection, but it is talking about networking. It is talking about coming in and connecting with others and bringing a sense of togetherness. And the coyote is all about laughter again. It's the prank, the jokester in a good way, has a good laugh, brings joy into it. But what I'm picking up on here is some things you just need to laugh about that you've done. Some things are bloopers, and enjoy them as a blooper. Sometimes we make some crazy mistakes. We make some crazy choices and things go nuts. Nothing really totally damaging. It just kind of puts us back a little bit. Maybe, hinders us a little bit from progressing up. And this is asking you to look back on those things with laughter and kind of giggle about them. It's nothing to hold really personal. And that's what I feel here in that feminine cycle. Not to hold it as one of those god-awful, horrible experiences. I can't believe that I showed up in 2 different colors of shoes. Something along that lines. Just like a little faux pas that it's really important for you to laugh about and let it go. Don't let it own you. And that's what I'm feeling in this feminine cycle upside down is don't allow our faux pas, those things that we maybe have self-isolated ourselves with, don't allow those to guide who you are today. I mean, it was something, some of those things are just mistakes. And we roll with those mistakes and we move and grow and laugh about it. Have some good laughter. The healing is coming up, and then we have autumn upside down. And then the moon is flanking that over there. And what I'm feeling on this one is that as you're on your path of healing, you are having difficulties letting things go. You're having difficulties letting things go. And the little phrase that just came up to my head that I want to talk about for a moment is, like, often we'll say, I forgive that, but I won't forget it. If it is something that you bring up in your head every day, you're allowing that negative experience to live rent-free in your head. To forgive, in many ways, is to forget the negative ties that are associated with that scenario, that person, that event, whatever. You cannot actually be in a state of total forgiveness if it is something that still harbors in your mind. You haven't forgiven it. It's still there. You think about it every day. You have not forgiven it. This energy here is talking about how important it is for you to forgive and in many ways forget. And it's not forget that it happened, but forget the bondage that it holds over you. And the moon gives us that inkling, that desire, that ability to look at it from a different perspective, almost to be able to take our own emotions out of it and allow it to birth into a different perspective, and allowing it to birth into a different perspective. I don't know. She looks like she's about to give birth, and that just kind of looks like a birthing kind of scenario. So when I'm in there and I'm looking at this and I'm like, you've got to let go of what holds you back. And if you say that you forgave something, but you're still thinking about it frequently, you haven't really forgiven anything. You're still stuck in that place. So let's see what art is all about. And 1. Okay, and I'm like, okay, so even though that we say that we have forgiven, we haven't really forgiven. And it is something that we need to move forward and make actual physical body, mind, and spirit effort to disconnect from. Your heart over here, the heart's wisdom, you're still placing your personal feelings into that situation and harboring those personal feelings in a negative way. This is something that you're going to be struggling with this, throughout this week. I'm going to say you're going to be struggling with it. And over here, on that bison totem upside down, it's something that's going to kind of impede your progress. And I'm kind of like, okay, guys, we got to forgive some stuff. I mean, yes, our hearts were broken. Yes, we felt, horrible about it, that those things, and we keep saying that we forgive it, but have we really forgiven it? Sometimes we need to do some action in this process of healing in order to really truly let go of it. So one of the things, or a couple of the things that I kind of recommend to people is this. I recommend doing, all right, so this is one of the things that I recommend doing. I recommend writing down everything that you want to let go of that has a hold on you. That even though you say that you have forgiven that person or you're over that, write it down. Because if it's coming to the tip of your tongue, the tip of your fingertips, write it down. And so when you've finished filling out everything that you want to let go of, you're going to take that piece of paper. And I'm going to see if I've got a piece of paper. Yes, I do. So, yeah, okay, I've got writing all over this, so this will work. Okay, so you're going to take that piece of paper, and you're going to start folding it away from you. And I'm not doing a really great job of it, but I'm going to fold it away from me. And then, remember earlier when you saw my little purple string? Well, depending on what it is, I'm going to take that purple string and I'm going to wind it around away from me. Okay. And then tie it up there at the bottom. And then I'm going to take this out to where my fire pit is. I have a fire pit. And I'm going to light it up and throw it into my fire pit and let it burn away. And all of those emotions that I put onto that piece of paper are burnt and sent to the universe for healing. And then the other thing that you can do with it, if you're like, man, I'm a pyromaniac, I better not be playing with fire, is you can take this very same thing, put it in, fold it up, put it in the bottom of a flower pot, put some soil in there, and then plant beautiful plant bulbs on top of it, or seeds on top of it, because you know that you're going to love and nurture that plant. You're going to love and nurture that part of you that you just let go, so that it can in turn heal and rejuvenate and become back as something beautiful. So do me a great big favor today. Please do me a great big favor. Love this video. Love it. Comment something awesome. Comment which pile you chose, which was your favorite pile, even if you didn't choose a pile, whatever. And then share this video and let me know that you shared the video, because everybody who shares my videos, their name gets dropped into my little glass jar. And then every week I pick a name from that jar and that person wins a free reading. So when you share me, you're helping me out by sharing that information, sharing this reading, and letting people know what I do and how I can help them get on track with their life. And it also it helps me. It helps me because more people get to know about me.